And tonight we are taking a closer look into the Navy SEALs' harsh training. The training course is apparently so brutal that some recruits are using drugs like Viagra, according to a report from the New York Times. In February, one recruit, U.S. Navy Seaman Kyle Mullen, died during the SEALs' notorious Hell Week. Coroners say he officially died of bacterial pneumonia. He was coughing up blood, and Mullen had been taking Viagra against Navy regulations to help with the bloody fluid in his lungs. It did help him to keep training, but his condition worsened before he died. Here to discuss Navy SEAL training and to share his perspective on some trainees taking drugs to help them through it is former Navy SEAL Brandon Webb. Brandon, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Natasha.
Let's talk about the case of Kyle Mullen. The Times report is graphic. It is disturbing. Mullen completed a medical check, but then coughed up enough bloody fluid to fill a Gatorade bottle. And hours later, he was unresponsive and without a pulse. How did Mullen's training get that bad? And what do you believe went wrong here?
I mean, first, I think the New York Times is being a bit sensationalizing things quite a bit. I read the piece. And I don't even remember reading that they got a comment from the Naval Special Warfare Command, which is unfortunate. You know, with Mullen, where Mullen is concerned, I think guys all the time hide sickness in training because they don't want to be medically rolled. He was already previously on a medical roll. And so I think what happened was he probably, at that checkup at the end of Hell Week, you know, did his best to hide his condition, which was very serious, obviously. I've worked a Hell Week. When I was a sniper instructor, I volunteered for a Hell Week. These guys get checked all the time. But the fact is, if somebody is gaming the system and hiding it, they can get away with it. And you know, SEAL training, you know, the only part of the headline I would agree with the New York Times is the brutality part. It's brutal by nature. I mean, there's a reason these candidates go through such extremes, is because you need to, you know, go through the fire to get the best of the best, and that's just the way it is. So I don't think there's a big controversy here in training. There's other issues with being over deployed, but that's in the regular community. But as far as training goes, I've reviewed the guidelines, and you know, there are many procedures in place to prevent guys from taking illicit drugs, but they can game the system.
Do you think there's anything fundamentally wrong with a system that incentivizes recruits to hide serious medical conditions just so they won't be disqualified and can continue training under conditions like this?
I don't think there's an incentive created by the Navy to have these recruits hide the conditions. It's just commonly known. I think this shows up everywhere in college, professional sports. People are masking injuries when they're getting drafted into the, you know, major league sports. So I think it just kind of comes with the territory. I do know the Navy and the SEAL community, especially, and with training, where training is involved, take it very seriously. And I went through training. I know we had one guy that was caught and immediately discharged for using illicit drugs, and we take it seriously. I mean, anyone using drugs in the active duty SEAL community is a huge liability. I personally kicked the guy out for drug use in 2005, I believe, before I got out of the Navy.
And can we talk more about that, the revelation that some recruits are taking drugs to aid them in getting through training? You know, the Times reports that the investigation after Mullen's death showed that 40 recruits either tested positive or just admitted to illicit substance use. How common is this, and to what extent were you aware of it during your training?
I mean, it didn't exist when I went through back in '99. It was not common. But I think what you see is obviously in Mullen's case, I mean, plus, you know, he's a very charismatic guy, was, I believe, the captain of the Yale football team, and probably contributed as a, you know, leader of sorts among students to this, you know, unfortunate incident where you have a group of candidates that think it's okay. But I guarantee you that the Navy takes it seriously and are doing everything they can to test and make sure that they aren't using any type of performance enhancing drugs. I think the bigger issue at play is, you know, the political leadership of this country over deploying the military over the past 20 years with really no clear foreign policy strategy. And you're seeing the troop fatigue across all levels, including the SEALs, just being over deployed. I mean, I think that's the bigger story here is the healthcare system inside the military and outside with the VA getting a lot of these, traumatized service member with post-traumatic stress, they're just getting them hooked on opiates. I saw the previous segment. It's a big problem, and I think that's the real issue here is how do we take care of the troops who have sacrificed and given quite a bit over the past 20 years.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.